Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of HipHop Babies.
Yes, sirski.
It's your host, DeadLeigh. I got my boy Ray with me, as always, coming to y'all with this Don Toliver HARDSTONE PSYCHO review. Oh my God, man. He did it again, bro. Ever since we've been introduced to him on Astroworld, he hasn't missed. He's coming out the gate crazy. And ever since then, man, I just feel like he's been Travis's best disciple, making this psychedelic atmospheric music. He's doing things that make him look lavish, make him look, like he got it all. He's doing it big. Crazy run.
He got signed to Cactus Jack, right? Heaven or Hell came out. People were hyped for that. Came out. It was a solid debut project on Cactus Jack. Ever since then, I've been waiting to see how he's going to progress. And he's done detours, experimented. He's done other things. He's always been a versatile artist. With Lovesick, right? It was more of an R&B lover boy vibe. And this project, he went back to the Heaven or Hell aesthetic, where it was more of a balanced mix. But I feel like with the sequencing and with certain things on this project, he went back to the sound that I was looking for. More of a mix of the sounds of R&B and hip hop, whether it's through the biker stuff or the guitar riffs, like the rock sounds on here. I feel like he went more into the balanced aesthetic that I was looking for.
I guess in a way I can kind of see what you're talking about, but he's doing it all like throughout the career, man. Heaven and Hell, that's his like shortest project. I don't feel like he had like as much room to work with as he has had since, maybe like Life of a Don, because I felt like that one was a little bit longer, and then Lovesick's like 20-something tracks. Yep. HARDSTONE PSYCHO is 20-something tracks. He's been giving himself like more room, basically. He's been trying to figure out how to fill up that room. On Life of a Don, he didn't do the best job at doing that. He had some songs that felt bloated, felt like they were a little bit too long. Sequencing, like you were saying on here, is much better than it was before. I don't feel like Lovesick was a miss.
But I didn't say it was a miss.
He definitely had a good mix, but it may not have been structured how you wanted it to.
I feel like with this project, it's like a darker vibe. And I feel like he fits that vibe a little more. Now, do I agree with every way he went about going that way? No. But I do appreciate him trying to sequence it in a certain way. Part by part, right? I like Lovesick. I liked Heaven or Hell. I like those projects. I think they were solid albums, right? But I don't know, man. I'm liking tracks on this a lot. From the features to the way he promoted this album. To the singles, I think that it all fit, and I think that this is Don Toliver's step into being his own artist within Cactus Jack.
You got him, bro, with Travis Scott. He was on a finished product. You put him on Astroworld. It literally can't get better than that. We got like a flash in the pan of like what he could be, and now it's like we're kind of getting to the point where he's on his own and he's able to do that again. Just listen to Ice Age on here, bro. Like, if you want to know if he can really, like, work an atmosphere and, like, make it work now, that's the song I would point to. It's with Travis Scott. But I didn't see it as, like, Travis taking over the song, especially because it had a beat switch. He didn't really allow for that to happen. I think they both did their own, like, great thing on here. They both emphasized, like, the best parts of themselves as artists. You got different producers on here, but, they all still accomplishing the same kind of things. Love seeing the personality in that, especially with like Purple Rain with Metro Boomin. It's a real Metro Boomin beat, but it's so elegantly put together. Just the way that, he does the melody in the back, synths and shit, and how that like mimics, what the refrain's gonna be like, just in that first part. Like little small details.
You brought up Ice Age with Travis Scott, right? When him and Travis Scott used to do tracks together, Travis Scott stood out more. He's so big at this point where other artists who feature with him kind of like mingle with his sound to the point where it borders on just being a Travis Scott song. I feel like on this album, whether it was Ice Age, Inside, I liked Inside a lot. I feel like that was Don Toliver saying, hey, Travis, get on my track. More so than, hey, I'm having Travis on here. This is a dope feature because it's Travis Scott on like Flocky Flocky or some of the other tracks, right? Don Toliver works because he's talented. Whether that's Bandit, the hit on here, basically.
Get that guitar riff on Kryptonite, whatever he was saying. It didn't really matter, bro. You talk about whatever. It just sounds so good, bro. Just talk about whatever. GLOCK.
GLOCK slapped.
What he was talking about, like, I was like, whatever, bro. Two hoes in the bag trying to show me love. I'm like, bro, what you talking about, bro? And then I listened and I was like, oh, okay, this like background vocals is going crazy. The way he's like interacting with the background vocals is really crazy. It makes it feel like, you know, like a multi-dimensional type song. So little shit like that. Everywhere you go, there's gonna be something for everybody. Literally, just talk about whatever, man. He's a biker now. Cool, man.
Yeah, Glock got stuck in my head. Brother Stone with Kodak Black got stuck in my head. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Kodak Black sometimes, he ripped that.
He pushed himself to the forefront. Okay. I mean, I feel like the closest that we got to like him and the other person doing the same kind of shit was Purple Rain. I felt like him and Future were kind of doing the same thing. The one I really liked that highlighted him as like the feature artist is Backstreets with Tizo. Doing the ad-libs remind me of some like Unicorn Perp, like Future and Young Thug. It was fine, man. It was perfect. I mean, Tizo, he's like Michael Jackson with the ad-libs, bro. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That track was crazy. That's a highlight. On Lovesick Deluxe, he got Tizo on there on Luckily I'm Having. That was one of my favorite tracks of that year. The bubbliness of the track. It has worked with him and Tizo. I feel like this track was a different version of that, and it worked again. Tizo on the ad-libs. You don't need him to do a verse. You don't need him to do something crazy. Him and Tizo are a unique sound. It works. They're 2 for 2. Hopefully they can continue that.
Hopefully, man. He was doing it on such a high level the entire time. I don't think that the vibe got broke like one time. Nobody like took away from the overall aesthetic of the project. It's like Sanji, bro. He just know how to cook. Got to give him his props. This is probably my favorite project of his. I really like Lovesick, but man, I don't know. We'll never get a JB verse again.
We was talking about this before we get into review this one. I think it depends on what you want from Don Toliver. I think some people like his R&B side, his lover boy side more. I think if you looked for that on that album, you got it. I think you still had the R&B cuts. You brought up Trav on, you brought him up on Ice Age, and then on Inside, he pops up and they do the R&B vibe. I think Inside was a highlight. You know, sometimes you just want to be inside with your lady. You don't want to go out. You go out, you're like, man, I should have just been inside with my girl. I shouldn't have been dealing with this.
You want to be deep in water. Yeah, that's what you need.
Deep in the water? Yeah, that was a good one, you know. You know, he in love with Cali. That was a dope track. 4x4 was a highlight for me. I like the energy on that track. The vocal effects. That's his sweet spot. And if he keeps doing that, and he keeps doing it with this aesthetic, I like it. I don't know how much I agree with this biker aesthetic, but at the same time, with the music he made on this album and just, you know, the videos and everything he did, it does fit.
He didn't collab with Meek Mill, who drives ATVs through the streets of Philly all the time. Bro, I just think that's messed up, bro. You gotta show love to the OG. He got Uzi, you know. Uzi be fucking with the ATVs too, so, you know.
Kind of went by certain tracks, but like, you know, even tracks like New Drop, it's a lot of earworms. It's a lot of tracks that are gonna catch your ear and you're just gonna be singing.
Great refrains in general.
Yes. He's really good at doing certain melodies that get stuck in your head. It wasn't too dark. Even though he went for a darker sound, a darker aesthetic, it didn't overpower his sound. It was darker, but it fit. And I hope he continues, and maybe he'll get some more hits in this lane, because there was a few tracks on here I'm like, man, this would be on the radio more. People know Don Toliver, but I think I should be hearing some of this more all around. I've just been singing casually.
I wish TikTok would take another song rather than Attitude, because please, bro. I get Cash Cobain gonna be trending all the time, but like, that's the song, bro. That's the song that everybody getting. I feel like there's a lot of moments that are being just overlooked just because there is so many details. It's harder nowadays to get somebody to pay attention to shit. It's an hour long. They're not gonna find it all. You like us, then you're gonna be listening to the whole project multiple times, bro. Like, put it on in the background, you know. Don't worry about it too much. You be like, oh, it's cool. And then you listen to it that last time with the headphones on, and that shit gonna blow your mind.
Yes. I love moments like 5 to 10, where he's using the flow from Cardigan. Simple, catchy, but like that flow gets stuck in your head, and it made a good track. I think he knew what he was doing. He was tapping back into the people who wanted that sound, but also progressing that sound, not just doing another Heaven and Hell. You get what I'm saying? And I love that, because ever since that album, even Life of a Dawn, I feel like Life of a Dawn, he went more in the R&B bag. which I liked. I love swinging on Westheimer. But this one, I get more when you're in the middle.
Part of the reason why I seen this dude live before is because I felt like he was already kind of headed on this path where he knew like what he was going to be doing. But I felt like he just had to get those first couple out the way. Like his sets and stuff, like when he does sets for live music, like he's got a long list of bangers. And then after that, you know, he's got the slow song. Yeah, he knows how to cycle through them. And I just feel like this is the best like commercialized version of that he's done to this point. So top 3 tracks, man. I got Purple Rain on there. If Future is not on the next album, bro, we're riding. 2, Backstreets. Backstreets definitely up there. And then 3, Bandit. It fits so well into the album. You know, I wasn't expecting it necessarily, but it was a very nice surprise to see how well it did fit amongst the other tracks.
Mine, 1, Backstreets. Get that one out the way. Number 2, GLOCK. And then 3, I'm going to go 4x4. I like 4x4 a lot.
Great listen. Don't come over here talking about no fucking album sales, man. Talk to me about goddamn numbers and rap music in the same sentence. But appreciate you, you know, for watching this. Thank y'all so much for listening to this album review. Thank you, Don, for giving us this amazing project to talk about. Great conversation as always, man. Make sure y'all are hitting that subscribe button, you know, following us on the socials. We got our little tags right here in the corner. It means a lot. So y'all just keep on giving that support, and we gonna keep on doing this thing.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Don Toliver, if you're watching, man, these projects are dope. Thank you for watching. With that being said, peace.